Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Amanda, and I am a 33-year-old lady trying to get my shit together. If you're interested in following my journey or you just want to maybe be friends, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and tell me a little bit about yourself in the comments below. If you haven't seen my first video, which was all of my rules, go ahead and click the icon on one of these sides and it will pop up and you can go ahead and watch my first video, which talks about all the things I'm allowed to buy and all the things I'm not allowed to buy. You might have noticed that my backdrop changed and I thought I would switch it up from the weird corner of my chair / door situation I had going on. I put up one of my scarves, hopefully to make it a little bit more pleasing to the eye. For now. If the light happens to change during this video at any point, I apologize. I have a window in front of me here as my only light source. If a cloud goes in front of the sun, we might have a little bit of a dark spell. I'm gonna try to not have that happen, but I'm oblivious, so there's a chance that it might. So today's video is an update on my first month of doing a no-buy. It's been really cool to see my thought patterns and really be able to evaluate my spending habits that I've had in the past. It's really been eye-opening. I have not broken any of my rules, but I am going to go over what I did purchase this month. I'm also going to go over something a little bit different. I am going to go over the income that I did generate from my businesses. I'm not going to go over what I made from my salary from my real job, but because I am growing a small business, I think it will be helpful for me to show what I make every month based on what I do. And maybe it will be helpful to someone out there who's thinking about starting a small business. If I don't do a lot that month, then I won't make that much. But if I do something, then maybe I will make something. But either way, I am going to talk about what my income was from my businesses and what my expenses were, the things that I purchased, both my personal life and for my business. And I'm going to show you the things that I got, as well as what kind of thought process I went through the last month. All right, first up, we have the things that I did buy. Like I said, I did not break any of my rules, but I did have to buy a couple things. So we're gonna go ahead and go through that right now. The first thing I had to buy was this, a new C cable for my phone, because somehow I managed to drop both ends of my old cable into barbecue sauce. Listen, don't ask me how these things happen. Actually, I know how it happened. My boyfriend left his plate on the couch with barbecue sauce on it, and I was walking by with my cord and it fell into the barbecue sauce and went inside both of the ports. So I tried my best to clean it. I couldn't get it out. When I went to use it, it kept saying it wasn't connecting. I just threw it away and bought a new one. Not that interesting, but a necessity. The next thing I bought, actually, I can't show you because I'm using it. I got myself a tripod for my camera. I'm using my phone to film, and it was really hard for me to kind of finagle ways for it to sit still and upright. So I spent $5.90 on a tripod. I am really excited to have it and now be a little bit, kind of more professional. The next purchase I made was for Valentine's Day. I got my boyfriend a card and a gift bag with a bunch of his favorite snacks inside of it, and I spent $17.98 on his presents. So we're only 1 month into my no-buy, and I have already purchased 2 of my 5 allotted notebooks for the year. I went to the Dollar Tree. I was thinking that I should get a notebook to kind of write down video ideas in, or just other things that I would need for the channel. And I found these 2 and I couldn't decide which one I liked, so I got both. I actually wrote some of my notes for this video in this book, so I'm already getting use out of it, which is wonderful. Along with the 2 notebooks, I also got a new pen. Listen, don't come for me with how childish this pen is, okay? I like fuzzy things, I like textures, I don't know why, I do, it makes me happy. And it's a short pen, so I can put it inside my notebook and it's not gonna stick out the bottom. I actually bought the 2 notebooks, the pen and the charging cable all at the same time. My total cost for all 4 of those things is $4.25. This next thing was not really a purchase, but I did get it this month, so I figured I would include it. And I know I'm not supposed to be getting any cups or mugs, but I didn't buy it. This was free. if you have T-Mobile, definitely download the T-Mobile Tuesdays app because they give a lot of free things away. They give discounts on gas, discounts on movie tickets, discounts on Starbucks. I think you can always get discounts at Taco Bell. I don't know. They give a lot of things away for free and they give a lot of discounts. So if you're trying to save money or you want some free stuff, download the app. Not sponsored, just saying. But yeah, I think it was Valentine's week. On that Tuesday, they had this where if you went into a T-Mobile and showed them the app with this little code, you could get one of these for free. So the only thing I spent was the gas to get over there, which was 3 minutes, and I got myself a new mug. So the income that I made for the month for my businesses and my next purchases are kind of intertwined. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what I made this month and how I made it. And then I will go ahead and tell you the purchases I made that go along with it. I had a very busy weekend, the second weekend of the month. I had a friend of mine that has workshops to make dream catchers ask me if I would help her. This isn't technically part of my business, but this was extra income that I did make. I went and helped her, as well as brought her a keychain that she asked me to make. For that day of helping her, plus the keychain price, I made $80. The location my friend held her workshop at happens to be a place that carries some of my wire wrap jewelry, and they also happen to be the place that I go to get all of my pretty stones to make things. So of course, while I was there, I had to get some stuff. So the first stone I picked up was this one. I thought it was so beautiful and so detailed. And I also got a smaller piece of it as well. I also picked up 2 of these. They're a really pretty earth-toned green and brown. I plan on turning these into a pair of earrings. I think they're a really pretty size and I'm really excited to turn them into a piece that someone out there will hopefully love. The biggest struggle that I have is when I fall in love with some stones, trying not to keep them for myself. It's so hard. I pick stones that I just fall in love with and then I have to not keep them. They are meant for someone out there and it's not always just for me. While I was there, I also purchased 3 spools of copper wire in different gauges. I have a 22 gauge, a 26 gauge, and a 20 gauge. I really liked the copper for these stones. I think copper will be beautiful with the tones in this, and hopefully I will be able to use it to make other pieces as well. It's nice to have a variety of tones and colors because not everybody likes the same thing, and not all the stones look good with the same colors. So it's nice to add this to my collection and have some variety. So that little haul cost me $30, but I used the money that I made from that to purchase the items. So technically, I didn't spend any money that I had. It was money that I didn't expect to have. The following day, I actually had a pop-up with a shop that carries my jewelry in it. So in preparation of that show, I had to buy some supplies. I went to Michael's and I purchased some chain, which I do not have because I turned it into products I then sold. So I don't have any to show you, as well as another spool of wire. I got the 12 gauge because I don't have that gauge and it is a very thick wire. I kind of want to get into making a little bit more robust pieces. So I picked that up as well. That shopping trip at Michael's cost me $17.13. At the pop-up show that I did, I sold a few pieces, which was really nice. I was lucky enough that the woman who invited me paid for my lunch, so I did not have an expense there. However, I did tip $5 to the waitress, so that was a little bit of an expense at the show. She did not charge me for my booth rental. Typically, when you do a show at a location like a pop-up or a craft fair or some type of an event, there is a booth fee, and that can range anywhere from $20 to $200, $300, sometimes $500, depending on the show and the length of the show. I was very blessed that because she invited me as part of her store, I did not have to pay a booth fee. So everything I made was profit for the day, except for the cost of the chain that I purchased earlier to be able to go and do the show. My total sales for that day was $140. Now I know that's not a lot, but for me, it was nice. It's not always about the money for me. Granted, I do want my businesses to sustain me one day, but more than that, it makes me really happy when people come in and a piece that I made speaks to them and they take it home and make it part of their life. In fact, I was actually finishing up a pair of earrings that I had started the night before at the show, and as soon as I hung them up, a woman came by and saw them, and with within 5 minutes of me completing them, she took them home. So I strongly believe that pieces are made specifically for certain people, and it just makes me so happy when I get to connect them, especially in person. Now we're gonna go over the overall numbers, my income and my spending, and how much I managed to save last month. My total income from helping my friend and doing that show was $220. So the total number of spending is a little bit more than I wanted to, but I've definitely done worse. $70.13. After everything I spent, I was able to take in and put into my savings account $149.87. I also managed to put a little bit of money away from my paycheck, so I saved an additional $43.13, bringing my grand total this month of savings to $183. I'm gonna have an honest moment with you right now. This is really hard for me to say, but I am going to need to be transparent, because if I'm not, then what's the point of me even doing this? If you watched my first video, you will know there was a moment in there where I mentioned that I had forgotten to do my taxes in 2015. I didn't actually forget. I got screwed over by the tax place, but that's not the point. That's a different story for a different time. Either way, I do have to do those taxes, and I am not sure what is going to happen with that as far as money that I may owe to the IRS from 2015. Additionally, I have to file my taxes for this year. And this is something that I do want to talk about, because if you are thinking about owning a small business, or you are thinking about having a sole proprietorship income where you are not paid by someone else, you are responsible for your own taxes. Because I make so little, and this was the very first year that I did not have a W-2 income. My past real jobs were W-2. However, the job that I have now is a 1099 independent contractor, which means that he does not take taxes out of my pay. I am responsible for that. Typically, you would pay taxes quarterly if you had a established business and you had a good income stream where you would put certain money aside and pay it to the IRS quarterly. I did not do that. I went into doing this tax year thinking that it would be very similar to my W-2, where with all of my expenses and my write-offs, I would have a zero balance due to the IRS. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Apparently in the United States, if you're poor, but somebody else pays you, you don't have to really pay taxes that much if you're under a certain bracket. You even may get money back. But oh boy, if you're broke and poor and you worked for yourself, you're fucked. Not only am I not getting money back, but even though I only had $4,000 after my deductions of taxable income, I still have to pay them $300, because when you own your own business, there is a sole proprietor tax that is not something you could ever be exempt from. And I'm only bringing this up because this is something that I find to be a major struggle when it comes for me saving money. And I'm sure I'm not alone in this. Every time I manage to save a little bit of money, something comes up, whether it's car expense, or a medical expense, or something for my animals. No matter what it is, every time I get even a little bit of money in my savings account, it has to go towards paying for something. And don't get me wrong, I am incredibly grateful to the universe or whatever is taking care of me, that it is giving me this extra money to be able to pay for these things when they come up. It's just really frustrating when you think you're doing good and then you realize, oh, I was just saving for this unexpected thing. So even though I'm telling you right now, I saved $183 this month, the reality is at the end of the year, the numbers that I'm telling you every month are not going to add up to how much I have in my savings, because life happens. And I think it's important for us to talk about the struggles that go along with trying to be responsible with finances and trying to save money, and how sometimes life just fucks it up. It would be really easy for me to say, what is the point of me even doing this? So I can save every little penny just to have some unforeseen life event take it away anyways. But I don't want to look at it that way. I want to look at it like I am doing the best I can to be the best version of myself and give myself the best chance at a good future. future. I definitely had moments during this month where I walked into Target or walked into another store and had to remind myself that I wasn't allowed to buy anything that wasn't a necessity. And unfortunately, that's the only thing I have control over. That's the only thing any of us have control over, is the choices that we make in our spending. We can't control everything else that happens. And honestly, that kind of made me feel good. It made me feel kind of in control of my finances, more so than I ever have before, because I didn't go and purchase something and then come home and regret it, feel bad for spending money I didn't have. I felt way more in control of my inner mental health, just knowing that I made the choice to save money. Life is not going to stop happening, and if putting the effort into putting money aside helps make it through life easier because I have the money I need to do the things I have to do, and at the end of the year I don't have any money saved, well, at least I made it through the year. So hopefully, if any of you out there feel like you're constantly treading water, like no matter what you do you can never get ahead, at least maybe you'll know you're not alone. The universe is not out to get you. It's just the way that life is sometimes. Some of us have a harder road to travel, but a lot of times the harder your road is, the more reward it is at the end, because nothing in life that is worth having comes easy. I hope, if nothing else, you find comfort in knowing you're not alone. There are lots of us out here trying to get our shit together. I hope that by this time next year, I am, and maybe you are, in not only a better financial place, but maybe also a better mental place, having appreciation for what we have, clear idea of what we want our future to look like. So if you're interested in coming along with me on this journey of figuring out life and just becoming better versions of ourselves, then please hit that subscribe button, comment down below. Let me know the struggles that you have had so far in your No Buy journey. I look forward to connecting with hopefully more and more people in the future, and we can all get through this crazy life together. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.